It's nice to see all of you. And you watched a lot, so I want you to rest a little bit from watching. And the number one thing that I want you to do is look out of the window. So leave the video alone for a minute. Wave your hands to the side. There's 3 areas: near the ears, near the shoulders, and all the way out. And you can close one eye and then close the other eye. And so look at the distance out of your window. And if you don't have a place out of the window, then at least at the end of your room, ignore the video for just 30 seconds. It's going to give your eyes the rest that your eyes need. Take a deep breath. And I just want you to know who's in the room with me. This is Rina, who is an emerging star in my work. She's gonna be an excellent practitioner. We have Kyle, who I'm very grateful for the hard work. He was stand up. Stand up. You're not that small. Okay. Who have done tremendous work in inviting all of you, and will really help me in this work. We have very important things to talk about. Now, before we talk, let's exercise a little bit. I need you out of my way a bit. And this is first of all, run backwards. Be careful, be careful. Okay. And then run forwards. So run backwards. And then run forwards. Kyle, you need to remove the table out of the room. Okay, thank you. Let's continue. Do it about 5 or 6 times in your room. Any room, even if you just have 10 square feet, is good enough for that. So backwards and forwards. So now let's confuse you a little bit. Go backwards, forwards. And again, backwards, forwards, 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 or backwards. All right. So feel how nice it feels on your feet. So I can right now start with the lecture. And after the lecture, by the way, as I speak, you can from time to time unmute yourself. And if we have the space, we'll answer you. So can you enlarge the screen for me? Thank you very much. So I want to talk to you about something very important. We always talk about external news, what happens between the US and China, what happens in Israel, what happens in Europe. All this very important. I myself am very engaged in that. But the most important news is what happens internally within you, right? And the most important news is what happens to your blood flow. So many people have cold feet, cold hands, cold nose. Sometimes that's not cold, but the waist between the ribs and the hips become cold. Are you recording me, by the way? Perfect. And that is a real sign of poor blood flow. Can you live with it? Yes, for a while you can live with it, but it in many ways hamper your standard of living. It basically makes your life not as full as it could be, because one thing that you should know very quickly is that feeling refreshed means you have good blood flow. And feeling actually sluggish and tired and fatigued means your blood doesn't flow well. Having real concentration of thoughts and being clear with your mind means your blood flows well. And being fuzzy in your head means your blood doesn't flow well. And so this is such an important thing for all of you to know, that the most important thing that you can think about this minute is, how does my blood flow? And as we talk about the body, we should really understand that the difference between good blood flow and poor blood flow is, first of all, having full life of happiness, life that doesn't have depression, life where you feel that you could feel things in your life. and having partial life in many ways. Somebody told me you can die once or 1,000 times. And really, the difference is how well does the blood flows in your body to a great extent. So I will give you some signs and symptoms because, doctors do all kinds of blood checks, but they don't particularly know whether your blood flows well or not. But you can know. So here's a few ways for you to know. Number one, if you feel light, it means the blood flows well, just as I mentioned a minute ago. But if you feel heavy, it means it doesn't. If your breath is slow, I want to repeat myself, slow means deep. Many people think that deep means, I now got more oxygen in. Yes, you did, but the next breath isn't going to be as deep. However, if you learn to breathe slowly, you bring much more oxygen to your cells, much more calm to your cells. And in that, you prevent so many problems that medicine even doesn't think about in terms of prevention. You may prevent your insulin dependence 10 years from now. You may prevent heart attacks 10 years from now, just for adopting the habit of normally. It cannot be done every minute, okay? There are moments of anxiety, there are moments when you have to exert yourself. But if normally you're going to breathe slow, deep breath, and this is actually the controversy here, in and out through your nose. So the respiration is slow. Then basically your breathing becomes deep. And that means you calm your nervous system. And you don't worry about things you don't have to worry about. You defer things you don't have to worry about now, and you don't worry about things that aren't necessary for you to worry. Because otherwise, you worry about many things. And Mark Twain once said, I've encountered many problems in my life, most that have never happened. So you need to get rid of the demons that you don't need to have in your life and of thoughts that don't really help you. It starts with deep, slow breath. So let's return to the blood circulation. If your hands and feet and your nose are warm, it means your blood flows well. And if your hands and feet and nose are cold, it means it doesn't. So you have to do anything you can do to increase the blood flow in your hands, in your feet, and in your nose. Now, how does that happen? Well, loose neck means good blood flow to the nose. And on the way to the nose, it means your brain is being nurtured. It means your eyes are being nurtured. It means that your glands are being nurtured. It means that every part of you is being nurtured because your neck is loose, your nose is warm, and it's easy for you to breathe. So that is so mandatory to have good blood flow. And since many people ask me about vision issues, 85% of blindness in an older age, like wet macular degeneration, neovascularization, glaucoma, and others, 85% are a result of poor blood flow to the visual system, the optic nerve, the eye, and the brain. So we need good blood flow, and your nose will tell you if it's warm, it means your blood have flown well. And if it is cold, it means it doesn't flow well. This is a very important thing. What also helps us to know if the blood flows well or not is the level of fatigue that we have. So this is some news that I want to tell all of you. People think that vigorous exercises means good blood flow. At the time that you do them, yes. But the question is what happens a few minutes later. And what happens often later is that actually it leads to tension that actually leads to a problem. So we need to understand that we need to rest at times to improve our circulation. Often when I teach classes, which are long classes, 8 or 10 hours, at the lunch break, beside food, what I need to do is lie down and rest. And even if I sleep for 30 seconds, and I feel this wonderful warmth in my hands and feet, whether through simple warmth or nice tingling, I know I rested. And then the second half of my class, I teach as refreshed as I was when I started to teach the first half of my class. And so it's so important for us to reduce our fatigue. This is so, so important. So let me just do one little summary because we're going to move to other topics. But one real good one good important thing for me to say is you must have loose shoulders to make sure your hands are warm. You must have loose hip joints to make sure that your feet are warm. And I really recommend that you follow my instructions in my book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. The muscle chapter is a very key chapter there, from the 28 chapters it has. It will follow you throughout life. It talks to you when you are completely healthy. It talks to you when you're ill. It has all the chapters that you need to work on yourself with. But the chapter on circulation here is very important. And the idea that we need, the ideas of what we need to have great circulation is right here. And again, I would like to emphasize that most people who die from heart conditions do it between 30 and 40 years before they should die. And that has a lot to do with not responding to our daily needs. Again, if your need is to rest, that's what you do. And if all you have is 3 minutes because you're busy, then if you're in a workplace, sit on a chair or a couch, and if you can lie down and rest, because that rest will increase your circulation in leaps and bounds. So many people are so unaware of their body. The best example I can tell you was Jim Fix. He trained the whole US Navy to run as something that is very healthy for your heart. And at the age of 44, died from heart attacks in the middle of running. How can a person do a thing like this? Well, you could say, how would he know? And the answer is, again, we're starting here with a whole new idea, kinesthetic awareness, deep awareness of your body. As you have deep awareness of your body and your senses, and today we'll emphasize the visual sense, but nevertheless, we can also work on other senses. But one of the most important sense is the sense of self. Are you overloading muscles that you already worked for years? So for example, running backwards can relax a lot of the muscles with which you run forwards. Running sideways can relax a lot of the muscles with which you run forwards. And it makes it easier for you to move and to run. Breathing properly is very important. And feeling that I remember the days that it feels like I need to stretch, it's not right for me to run. Those are such important days to feel the variety. I mean, the world is changing all the time. The earth is running around its axis and basically turning around the sun, and the sun itself turns around parts of the Milky Way, and everything is in movement. So also what you need, your needs are changing all the time. And being like an antenna that tunes to your need is the real prescription for health. That's very, very important. We also need to emotionally empty ourselves, defer feelings of hostility, forgive to whomever we can, so we can be in peace and quiet whenever we can be, to work on ourselves. Not everything is so possible to resolve But whatever we can do, we should do to rest from our own mind. That is so important. All right. So I now want us to start and work on our body. And of course, we're going to spend much more time on the eyes. And I think that Kyle sent everybody, I don't know if you can do it now, maybe you cannot do it now, the 4 pieces of paper that we'll need for the eyes, plus the large and small print. Or do people have it outside of this?
They should have it. And if they do not have it, they could visit our website, and it would be.
Speak loud so everybody.
If you do not have the materials, you could go on our website and you could click today's lecture and you could download the materials.
So the point is, everybody should have a small, a medium, a large, an extra large piece of paper, so we can practice when we work on vision. And large and small print. Can you find me, Lena, can you find me some large and small print here so we can show it to everybody? So you can have it. No, you're not looking in the right place.
This is the small.
Large and small print here. This is large and small print. So we should have a page like this, or the other side of it has large letters. Okay. Which is this. So it depends on your vision. If your vision needs large print, then do that. So we're going to move there in the other side of our session. But at this point, we have other things I want to do with you to make a big difference in your life. So one of your biggest enemies is exactly what you're doing now, looking at the screen. So when I'm going to show you this exercise, I'm going to talk about another enemy of yours. And you know what it is? Your chair. So let's make our chair a little bit more friendly, okay? So it's a good exercise you can always do on a chair when you sit on a chair. So for example, move your whole body in rotating motion while sitting on a chair, all the way in rotating motion in both directions. So Ina, you're doing it with me. Good. She sits on a ball. It's even better. And Kyle, go backwards and do it as well. I know you have to meet more and more people, but at this point, so you see, I have to help Kyle a little bit. When he moves forward, he's not so much forward. Right? There we go. That's the problem with muscle builders like this. The best example I have, the governor or the governator we had, Schwarzenegger, 3 heart attacks, right? Mm-hmm. You know, many bodybuilders cannot button their shirts because they built so many muscles. And I'll tell you, this guy is as strong as a bear, right? So you build so many muscles doing bodybuilding, and then the stiffness comes, but it's not so stiff. So now hold one thigh and move in rotating motion in that thigh. And then you look up to the ceiling, and look down, and move in rotating motion. And now hold the other thigh, and move in rotating motion. That's a nice feeling to all of you. Now is another exercise, very easy exercise to do. And this is, make sure your balance is good. I don't want anyone falling from the chair, but one cheek should be out of the chair, and you move in rotating motion, and make sure that you really have a good stretch in your groin, because the groin tend to fall. No, stretch them and move in rotating motion on one cheek. And we can push the chest forwards as we move in rotating motion, and then change the position and put the other cheek on and move in rotating motion. I'm impressed with Rina. You know, she really is able to do it with the ball as well, which means some balance, which is fantastic. So we move in rotating motion. Seeing that we're sitting on the butt so much, that's a very good massage we can get. Now see, when you sit down, how wider the butt feels on the chair, how easy it is, how better your base is, right? And now see how that affected this movement. And because you have better base, you have better movement, right?
Right.
Isn't that a nice feeling?
Yeah.
And we tap on the belly. And now let's move and see how that feels. Yeah. Just being conscious of the belly in front and the movement is already easier, isn't it? I just hope you didn't eat any meal proximate to what we're doing now. Can you get me a couple of bunker balls? In the back. Very good. I really recommend self-massage, as you all well know. I think that anybody, before going to sleep, about 3 to 4 minutes of massage on yourself is such a good thing. And when you're awake, bunker ball is a good thing. Massage always should come towards the heart, yeah, to help the major, to help the minor vessels, the veins, to be more active, because the arteries don't need so much help, but they need to get more volume from the heart. So if you are helping the veins, you're helping the arteries. And that's basically what we're doing. We're tapping, and if you cannot tap with your fist, and you can massage yourself upwards like this, and you can massage yourself upwards like this, and massage your arms, and massage your chest, massage your belly. So again, this is a fantastic thing because you can also tap between your shoulders. You can tap between the shoulders, and that's a real good thing. Okay, so let's talk again about working on the body. Separating muscle groups can help us a lot. So for example, moving the lower back and forth, moving the middle back and forth, moving the shoulders, that's very important. And again, let's work right now on the brain and the body. So here is the exercise. Move your shoulders in rotating motion while standing. And breathe deeply and slowly. And even though we're online, there's no reason for you to just sit and look at this. You can stand and look at this. So you move the shoulders in rotating motion in both directions. You can move the arms in rotating motion in both directions. To help ourselves, we can move the arms up and down like this, and then move them in rotating motion in both directions. And again, move the shoulders. It's much easier after you move the arms. Now, lift the legs one by one up this way. So you really rest your heel on the chair. Let's do it a little bit faster while moving the arms in rotating motion. And while doing that, tap and say fingertips. I want to hear all of you saying fingertips. 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 So you focus on the periphery, fingertips.
Fingertips.
I want to hear all of you. Unmute yourself and say fingertips. Fingertips. I don't hear you. Fingertips. Fingertips. Fingertips.
Fingertips. Fingertips. Fingertips. Fingertips.
See how it feels now to move your shoulders. A little bit different, isn't it? All right. So let's go to the chiropractor, okay? And again, I want to say something here which is right about osteopathy and chiropractic, in that they understand that you can change the structure with manipulation, but there is nothing that changes the structure of the body better than movement. Movement can get a stoop person straight. Movement can make function, can make such a big difference. And basically how you function will create a big portion of your structure. And I can prove it to you as I'm doing it in most situations. First of all, test your neck. How does your head goes to your shoulder? How does your head goes back? How does the chin moves to the chest? How is that movement for you? That's an important thing. So now move your head in rotating motion and have a sense of the mobility or lack of mobility that you have, of the popping and cracking that exists there. Just have a sense of it. And don't forget that your neck has to hold your head. So now massage your scalp, and you can feel the little dots here, the little cavities that you have, especially from the two sides of the neck, where the neck meets the skull. In the bottom of the skull, you have two cavities, and in the middle of the skull, there's a huge hole, a good site where blood vessels come into the head. And so we put pressure, and let's massage the skull and create more distance between the scalp and the skull. Those of you who have hair, pull it a little bit gently. And then again, separate the scalp from the skull and put pressure in the bottom. And now move your head in rotating motion. And tell me, does it feel lighter?
Yes, it does.
Wonderful. So now comes the next one. Top, right here on the belly. And all of us, let's say, center.
Center,
I want to hear everybody. Center,
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 center, center.
center.
I wanna hear it. Center, everybody. And have a seat. Again, you can join us, by the way. Top, center, 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 Have a seat. Tell me, how does the neck feel right now? Any difference?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. So you learn that when you allow the forces within your body, which is in this case is the electric forces, to flow in a very even manner, that the body starts to function differently. What kind of exercise we need to do? Well, different than we normally do. So I want to start with the torture that I'm giving everybody. And this is stand up. And Kyle, I want you to look at the seconds. And everybody lift your leg up to the side for 1 minute. So can you tell us when 1 minute is over? Keep the leg up for 1 minute. And this is really parallel to the ceiling. So it's like, has to be the heel. Breathe deeply and slowly. The heel and the little toe have to be parallel to the ceiling. And breathe deeply and slowly.
30 seconds.
So he says that you have another 30 seconds left. And you're starting to feel the muscle that you normally don't use. And see how that makes you breathe deeper, in and out through your nose.
And time.
Okay, stand. And one thing that you can see when you stand is how much more the foot is on the floor and how the shoulder drops. And that really affects your whole side. And you can tap on your hips and relax. And again, wear the bungables. That's a good time. That's a good time to hit the thighs with bungables, hit them and relax them. Yeah, that's one good thing. Okay, so that's the first thing. I'm going to give myself some fresh air here. And we're going to do the same exercise to the other side. So lift the leg up, breathe deeply, and Kyle, give us a minute. All of you, lift your leg up sideways as high as you can. You can move your foot, but the leg has to be lifted up. Again, it helps you breathe deeper and sense more your breath. And give yourself more space.
seconds.
30 seconds already passed. It's not that long a minute, but you can feel your muscles unless you practice it for a while. Sideways, 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 up, sideways.
And time.
Okay. Feel how easier it is to stand on the ground. There are many more exercises along those lines, but I just want you to be aware that many of the muscles we have, we never use. Now I'll give you the best example for today. There are many, many other examples, but a good one for today. Take your socks off. Both feet. Take your socks off. And hold 4 toes and move the big toe in rotating motion in both directions. That's not so easy, is it, huh? But that's a real good one, because if your toes are weak, the ankle will be stiff, the knees will be stiff. Where's the bell?
Should I go down?
Yeah. The hip joints will be stiff. The lower back will be stiff. The middle back and the upper back will be stiff. And the neck and the jaw will be stiff. So if you want your neck to be better, you have to have a good movement in your toes, not only in your toes, also in your fingers. But now we're working on the toes. So you move the toe in rotating motion, you tap right here on the arch, and now hold the big toe and the 4 toes, and move the second toe in rotating motion. You shouldn't have rang the bell. Okay, move the second toe in rotating motion in both directions. And move the middle toe in rotating motion in both directions. And hold the little toe and move the 4th toe in rotating motion in both directions. And move the little toe in rotating motion in both directions. Put your fingers between your toes. And shake your foot. Now feel the difference and see the difference in the color between the 2 feet. That's a good time to sense it. We have much more to do in that direction. For example, you can stand up and try to walk only with your toes. And it's much easier to walk with the toes we moved than with the toes we did not move. Now hold 4 toes and move the big toe, rotating motion in both directions. And now hold the lower 3 toes and the upper toe in rotating motion in both directions. And now hold the upper 2 toes and the lower 2 toes and move in rotating motion in both directions. And hold the little toe and the upper 3 toes and move the 4th one in rotating motion. I know it's very hard for most of you, and with enough practice, I'll teach you all how to control your toes. And toes are so important to control. So many people have bunions and all kinds of problems with their toes, but it starts with not moving them. And you have several enemies. One enemy that you have right now is the screen you're looking at. Another enemy that you have is the chair you're sitting on. And another enemy is the shoes you're wearing. So we really need to work on all of those to make the body different. So because we're going to work on the eyes, now put your fingers between the toes after you did the last one and shake. I would like you all to go and wash your hands. And we're going to do another exercise in a minute.
Do you hear me? Okay.
רינה, מה את עושה שם, רינה?
How are you?
באת לבקר את מאיר?
היא עושה כיף.
היי רינה, מה שלומך?
אורית.
כן, מפה.
You know, one thing that I could say is that people who work with me know that it's much more into the exercise than we were doing today. There's simply a short period of time and I have a lot to cover. But it's important for me to explain again that the problem of a 68-year-old person like myself is that often the same muscles that we worked all of our life, we have to keep working with. And it's so important for us to let go of the muscles that we always work. So and to start and use the ones we never work. So after doing the toes, let's do just for a short time. So Kyle, tell us when where half a minute is over, lift your leg up sideways for 30 seconds this time. Do you see me lifting my leg? You do, right? Yeah.
In time.
Okay, let's do the other side for 30 seconds. This subtle movement and subtle strain is very useful. It changes your life and changes it to the better.
Time.
Okay, great. And see how easy it is to stand on your legs, how easier it is for you to walk with your toes. And I'm going to do one last movement, but just remember, we need to learn about the muscles we never use. We use normally between 50 and 75. We have 640 muscles to use. In gyms, they make you develop more the muscles you're already tired a lot. And so that's why there are not that many healthy athletes. As of their 40s, they start to suffer. As of their 60s, they become ill and many of them die, although, Jim Fix was an anomaly. He died at the age of 44, being a good athlete. Well, very few athletes, and there are those, live into their 90s. It's also true about couch potatoes. They don't live that long either. We have to have a good medium where we tone our muscles, but we don't overstrain them. That's very important. So there's a nice relaxation exercise for the muscles, which I want to show you. And two things. First of all, I love this ball because I love to lie on it backwards this way. And I know that not all of you have the ball, but look what kind of muscles I'm using, the opposite muscles than the ones that I always use when I lie on this ball, okay? So that's a very good relaxant for the neck. But then the exercise I want to show you now, and tell me, Kyle, if people see me,
Yeah, they can see it.
is being near the wall, and I want all of you to do that, and putting the legs up. Now rub your hands, and this is a very good position to palm. I'm going to sit and palm, but I can tell you that I get some of my clients to lie this way and palm. It's relaxing for every part of the body, relaxing the legs. And with the legs, you can lift them up and down and loosen up your lower back. It's a fantastic exercise that leads to wonderful looseness. Just to lie like this, bring the legs up to the wall and relax the legs. This is a fantastic thing. And I want you all to spend at least 4 minutes, doesn't even have to be 5, every day lying this way. It's really a fantastic and a relaxing thing because it takes away the pressure that we have on ourselves on a daily basis. And I want us to move to a whole different mode right now. But before we move, Does anyone have any question about the body? Because right now I'm going to start and talk about the eyes. And Rina, get from the main room, maybe Elliot can help you, the pictures of the eye.
Main room is down.
If you have a question, please unmute
Oh,
yourself.
Zanislat. If you have question, unmute yourself. I'm giving a couple of minutes for that right now. If you don't, I'll move on.
I just wanted to know if the video would be available afterwards of our session today.
We are recording it, so we'll make it available.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Hello, Maya. Sorry.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Very well.
Maya, this has nothing to do with the eyes. It's with my thumb, my right hand thumb. I've been working with your book. I got your book, The Awakening book. And 2 months ago, I started with some mild discomfort in my right thumb. So,
So with the thumb, take a look at what's the base of the thumb. So if you feel the thumb, you go back to the elbow, and in this area. See where I'm pointing? Okay, put pressure there and you can feel it's pretty sore, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where you should massage.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so bend your arm right now and massage this area. And you need to spend a good 15-20 minutes doing that and then massage all the way down and then squeeze this area. Because what happens often is, we're not aware of it, but this is exactly what I'm talking about, that we overuse some of our muscles. How old are you right now?
54.
You look younger and you look very pretty, okay?
Thank
So
you.
you're 54. So the
I
point
cook
is,
a lot and I use this thumb to peel potatoes, to peel sweet potato, everything.
exactly. And because we learn to tense the chest and to tense the abdomen even, because they teach us in gymnastics from young age, tense everything. That's a good formula for arthritis. Then you shortened the muscles of the thumb. So if you work on the origin of the muscle, that means where the muscle connects to, and you relax it, give it a month or two, and then the thumb will stop hurting.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
another
It
thing,
happens-
you can also put it in water with Epsom salt and open and close your hand and tap on it. But
in
the
general,
main thing
it
is this.
happens during the night. During the night, when I wake up, it kind of, it makes noises. Then when I start moving and start doing some
So it
things,
shows you that blood helps, but you want to work on the origin of the problem.
okay.
You also want to massage your chest and relax all the pectoral muscles.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Thanks for your good question.
Thank you. Thank you, May.
It's like Elaine has a question.
Hello, I have a question. I see sometimes that my pinky finger has some numbness or a toe. It's not that my hands are cold, but I see that I have slight numbness in my small finger or a toe. Just wondering about that.
I'm not seeing Elena.
She doesn't have her camera on.
Your camera
This
is
is Tessie.
Right, my name is Cassie. I don't have my camera on, but
okay.
I had a question about
It's immobilizing me, but let me then answer you in generalities, because if I would see, I'll be able to answer specifically. Normally, it means your cervical spine is tight and that your lumbar spine is tight. So some of the exercise we did are great. Other exercises are to loosen up the neck and also for the hip. It's a real good one to stretch the leg sideways like this.
over here, Lucy.
Or when you lie on your side, to move your leg this way, and that can help the little toe quite a bit. So the numbness of your pinky and of your toe should be to some extent alarming in that it shows you that there's nerve compression and you don't want that to continue. So everything we've done today is great, like walking backwards. We walk backwards every day for a couple 100 meters, okay, or yards. So walk significantly backwards, Do a lot of exercise for the cervical spine. Again, use my book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. I really recommend that for that. But also the MP3 Sensing Your Spine and the MP3 Strengthening Your Central Nervous System. Those things will help you. But the best thing in the world is to really work on those exercises, okay? And if you ever are able to see me for sessions, I'll be glad to straighten it, okay?
Okay, Elaine,
Hi, can you hear me?
I can even see you, wonderful.
Hey, thanks again for the interview last year on my podcast. I
Oh,
really
of course.
appreciate it.
Was my honor.
Thank you. Just a quick question. Those where do you get those bongo massagers?
We sell them.
Oh, good. Okay. So on your website.
I'm not sure it's on the website.
it
It's
is on
probably,
our website now.
it is on our website, yeah.
It's in our
Okay.
store.
Okay.
It's on our store. You can easily buy it.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you. That's my question.
My pleasure. Okay, so did we finish with questions on the body so we can move to the eyes? Okay,
Oh, looks like Aggie has one. She's
okay,
raising her
one more.
hand. Yeah. Aggie,
Yes, thank you. I have fibromyalgia and I have a lot of problems with my tendons tightening up during the night. In the morning, it's hell. It's so much pain. Can you suggest something specific?
Yeah, quite a few things. For example, there is a wonderful exercise with tennis balls that we have in the book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing, lying on tennis balls and loosening a lot of the muscles. Deep tissue massage in your case could be good if it's done by the right person. And so lying on tennis balls, I would have shown it to everyone if everybody has 2 tennis balls. Do you all have 2 tennis balls or you don't?
Yes.
Who doesn't? So you all have tennis balls, huh?
No.
No? Okay. Then I will defer it to another time.
No, I don't, but I'm gonna get them now.
The only thing, hello?
Yes.
Even if I have a very deep massage or any other treatment whatsoever in the evening, by the next morning, it's stiff again and pain again.
Right. You don't solve it in a second. You cannot
Yeah, I
do
know.
it like a peel. But if you have serious, if, for example, you learn to use tennis balls and lie, I'm
Okay.
going to just show you a little bit about it. So there are a few things you can do with tennis balls. Those who have them, you can move on the foot back and forth and from side to side. You can do it with both feet. Yeah, and there's much more to it. For the back is like this. You lie down and you put the tennis balls on your buttocks and you move your legs from side to side. You lift your pelvis up and then you put the 2 tennis balls on your lower back and you move from side to side. You lift it up and you put it on the middle back and you move from side to side, never on the spine, never on the vertebrae, never ever on the vertebrae, but between the vertebrae and the shoulders is the best. So this kind of things can make a big difference. So what you need is not just have a treatment here or there, but what you need is regular daily work that teaches your nervous system to start and release endorphins. And once that happens, your stiffness and your pain will go away.
Wow, thank you very much. Toda raba.
Litrot. Okay, so I want to talk about vision right now, if it's all okay with you. I want to talk about Vision for Life. I'm so proud of that book. It's in so many languages. And what I want you all to work with is my book and the DVD, Vision for Life, both of them. I think it is right now the best-selling book that I have. It is in so many languages. This is in Spanish. It is in German. It is in Hebrew. In Hebrew, I love it because it's called Meir Einayim, which means giving light to the eyes. And Meir is my first name. It is in French. It is in Romanian. I mean, I'm forgetting, but it's about 18 languages. You have this book. And so people can read it in their language and work with it. It's also in Chinese, by the way. So you have this book in many areas. And I want to talk about the principles of natural vision improvement. And again, you have our brochure of what I'm going to do on April 27th. And with that, we're going to, when we finish the class, I want to show that brochure once more, okay? I'm starting a new class. Until now, you know, like I had a very successful class, both in enrollment and in results. People saw better against medical assumption that they cannot see better. People's structure have changed against medical assumption that structure cannot change. I just had one lady from Georgia whose structure changed from basically narrow tunnel, okay, which doesn't allow the fluid to drain, to a wide tunnel and having normal drainage. That's huge. We call it narrow angle glaucoma. And she was able to reverse that. That is physical. That is amazing, right? So the point is, you can make many, many changes. And the best example, I want to start with me. For example, but I'm not the best example. There are many, many better examples than mine. But take a look at this. This is a normal lens, and this is mine. And 99% of my lens is scar tissue. And I was raised as a blind kid, not only for that reason, but also because my surgeries were done late. It's interesting. I was known to be the blind son of Ida and Abraham in the deaf community of Tel Aviv, which means people knew my parents, deaf people. My father was the champion of chess, and my mother was the main actress in the deaf club. And I was their blind kids, and everybody knew there's a blind kid to those two deaf parents in the deaf community in Israel. And I was able to understand that my parents got along just fine with their deafness. They traveled the world with this. But I wanted to get out of my blindness. So I've done it with the exercises I'm describing in Vision for Life. And again, the 6 days we did had wonderful results. Individual sessions with me have wonderful results. But I want you, before you even become my full-time student, before you even become an initial practitioner in my work, that you learn to work on yourself and you are sharing it with others. That's how I started my life. I didn't get it in any institution. I've learned it and drank it from my teacher, and I ended up spreading it, first of all, to my high school mates. I was able to help one who had terrible psychosis to remove her psychosis with the art of movement. She thought all the walls are falling on her, the ceiling is falling on her. She grew to be out of those psychoses with the help of the movement I've shown her. That was already when I was in high school. I was able to help people with back problems when I was still in high school. And I was able to help people with vision problems when I was still in high school. That was big. Now I can tell you that things have changed to the better, but I am able to not only teach you to help yourself, but to be mentor, not to be a practitioner, to be mentor. So if somebody else wants to help themselves, and we cannot convince anyone to work on themselves, especially since we have the whole medical profession against us, but who cares? The top physicians that know me always endorse me. So one-on-one, physicians like what I do if they know me. But the concept of medicine is that eyes cannot get better. And we're sitting against that clobbering idea from the medical profession that eyes cannot get better. And we need a critical mass to change the world. And that's why I'm inviting as many of you as possible to come to for just 5 days, 8 hours a day, and that is April 27th through May 1st. That's all. I mean, as a shot in the arm, right? It's not all in terms of your practice. You want to practice before, you want to answer my questions even before the course, and when you want to practice after. This is really a self-healing school. So you come for your own self-healing. But in 5 days, you can become not only your own practitioner, but an advocate for others to work on themselves. Either you bring them to my sessions, or you prepare them for my sessions, or you work with them and help them move forwards. So the first thing that I want to say, vision can improve. The best example that I have as of late is this wonderful girl by the name of Marlies, who came to me in Germany to a town called Kirchtachen, not far from Switzerland, not within the Black Forest of Germany. And there's a beautiful institute there that I was teaching, and we had a huge class, and her mother took part in it. And the girl was operated late. You see, that's one of the things that happened to me. Not only did they injure my eye so much with the surgeries they've done, they operated me too late for my brain to receive the whole idea of seeing. We have learned with basic research with kittens and baby monkeys that there is a critical time for all animals and mammals brain development. For humans, it's 8 weeks of life. So if by the age of 8 weeks, your brain can bring vision to your brain, your eyes can bring vision to your brain then will develop normally, and your sight will be normal. And if you don't see well, either with eye exercise or with glasses, you'll see well. But then if you miss that time, you become blind for life. And unfortunately, Marlies, this wonderful, beautiful baby, missed that time. There was no good diagnosis, and the surgery was done at the age of 11 weeks, 3 weeks too late. Mine was done 200 weeks too late, so I can relate to that. My kids were did on time. Well, my 2 kids were born with cataracts, and we removed their lenses in the right time. We gave them contact lenses. And I'm so happy with my daughter. She just recently passed the DMV test in a normal way. And that is just fantastic. And my son sees better than 2015. So that's amazing thing.
And tell them that you drive.
Rina, I'll tell them in my time. Okay. So the point is that I'm very happy with what happened to them. And Marina said, let me mention that I'm able to drive this day with the damaged eye that I have and with the time that took me to see. But I want to talk about Marlies right now. Marlies ended up hearing well, thinking well, very bright baby, not looking. Not looking is very, very difficult for the system because as you develop, you should also develop your visual system. Actually, you don't see well when you're 8 weeks of age, except from 2 feet or half a meter. That's where you see really well. You see the face of your mother in that time from whom you are nursing. Then as you start to lift your head, you see more. As you start to crawl, you see more. You see more in every part of your infant's and baby development. And only at the age of 3, you see at your best, which, by the way, is much better than what we call 100% vision or 20/20 or 6/6. You see much better. And if you live in the jungles, normally you would see even better as you develop. But if you live in civil society, normally you will see worse as you develop because of computers, because of smartphones, and because of books. So the idea is, that's why I ask you all to look at the distance. So the idea is that we can see better as we move on or worse. And the question is, do we adopt what it takes to start and see better. So let's start to talk about what it takes to see better. Number one, and we're talking again about vision for life, the concept of vision for life. Some people want me to call it yoga for your eyes. I have a DVD called Yoga for Your Eyes, it was very famous, but I prefer to call it vision for life because it's vision through your whole life, basically. Number one, never strain to see anything. Let the world come to you. Don't impose yourself to the world. It happens to us so many times that we're not observant, that we don't know what happens. Doesn't it happen to you that sometimes you meet a person, say, well, what changed in your face? I don't see, something is different. And you didn't pay attention that for a long time, that person had a beard for 5 years or something like this. And now he doesn't have the beard and you couldn't understand what is different. Or you put a hat on a person who doesn't have a hat because that person used to wear a hat all the time. Or you remember them with sunglasses when actually that moment they did not wear sunglasses. So the point is, our perception of what we see sometimes create our vision, okay? And they're saying that if you saw a strange object, and 10 different people would see, they will all describe it differently. They would even see differently. That is so important for us to know. So our vision has a lot to do with our mental state. And therefore, the real good exercise is, okay, if I look too much at my picture, I see me too much, I see Rina too much, then for a second I would look at Kyle, or I would look at a chart on the wall, or I would look at something else so my eyes will not tire looking at the same thing all the time. Because every second, you already have 30 images in your retina. So just imagine how many of them you have in a minute, right? So the point is, we must always relax and be aware of the fact that if we don't tense, eventually the vision gets better. So that's number one. Number two, we need to work on relaxation. Now, what's the difference? Here I said, absorb everything, but relaxation can take many, many forms. And I love the exercise of palming, which we're going to do rather soon. And I love doing it with my legs on the wall. And you're welcome to do it when I will do the palming with your legs on the wall. But basically, we must relax the eyes. That is so important. The eyes of a modern person are very tired. Right here, I'm sitting in a room, rather large room, 165 square feet. And I'm looking at a big screen. Kyle is looking at a smaller screen near me. I must say, screen is a bit sharper because mine is a bit more diffused. But basically, Rina sits here a bit farther from the screen. Still, it's not the ocean, but we made a point of having our school by the ocean. We were able to get a special permit by the city of San Francisco. It took vote of the Board of Supervisors, before that vote of the Planning Commission, to allow us to have a school right here by the beach. And we took a lot of fight for that. And I'm so happy we made it. Because we stand and look at the waves until the last day, even when we had terrible wind, even the last day of our training course, the 6-day course, we looked at the ocean. We looked at the wave. It's so beautiful. Even, especially when it's windy, it's beautiful. You see all those wild waves. But truth of the matter is, we have to compensate for looking at the computer so much. That's relaxing the eyes. The relaxation I love is palming. I can listen to beautiful stories, wonderful stories. I'll sit in the dark, rub my hands, and very gently palm my eyes. And I can do it for hours and hours. The most I ever palmed, now don't fall from your chair, was 11 hours in one sitting. And it wasn't something I decided to do. I had a palming group, just like there's a philosophy group. We met together, all those legal blind people that knew each other. We sat down and we palmed. And one time, a very good meditator who practiced Zen meditation a lot came, and she and I were palming and we were listening to tapes. We massaged each other's shoulders. When we finished, it was 11 hours. And guess what? A month after that, I got my driver's license. Okay. So in spite of the injury in my eyes, lack of memory of vision in my brain, I was able to build up enough vision that the California DMV allowed me to drive. And that's a big deal. Okay. And I'm driving for 40 years already or more. So yeah, exactly 40 years. Yeah. This is really one of the most amazing stories of my life, because in the past, my parents and my grandparents were admonished for allowing me to be in the street without a seeing eye dog. And I used to ride bicycle and hit people, trees, fall downstairs with a bicycle. Who knows what happened? I used to play in second floors and fall from them. I was very rebellion against the fact that I was blind. But here was the eye exercise. I built up that ability. So deep relaxation is the second principle. Third is adaptation to light. We should adapt to the dark of the night. I think many people have glaucoma because we don't. And in my classes, we always have a night walk. There's a nice place within a few blocks from my school at the park, a place called Chain of Lakes. And the city, unfortunately, just now started to invest in light there. It was nice throughout all these years. There was no light whatsoever. But there's some light there, but we ignore it. We put it in our bag and we walk under the trees in the dark of the night. And slowly but surely, the eyes get used to the dark. The best was once in Singapore, where we were among many trees. It looked like a forest. And it was so dark. And within 20 minutes, there was more and more light, because there are cells that never work in the retina unless they are in a great darkness. So adapting to the dark is very, very important. The opposite is true too. I am very much against sunglasses, unless you drive to a sunset or to a sunrise and the sun is straight in your eyes. Yeah. Or there is incredible glare on the road or in the snow. Yeah. But normally, don't wear them. Well, of course, there's some other exceptions. You go to a party and you don't want anyone to know you, then you can put the sunglasses on. Things of that nature, but normally don't wear them, because sunglasses weaken your pupils. And you need strong pupils for your whole nervous system. Believe it, your pupils must shrink in the light. So you need for a whole nervous system. But also sun prevents depression. Sun helps your immune system. And there's no time better than this time when we need a good immune system. And being in the sun makes all the difference in the world. And we're being discouraged again and again by medicine to not be in the sun. And they discourage a group of Aborigines from being in the sun, gave them sunglasses, and they got sunburn. Now people say, what about the UV light? You have sunglasses in your eyes. It's called the melanin pigment. It's in your skin and in your eyes. And even though those Aborigines are dark skinned, they got sunburn first time in hundreds of years in the desert of Australia. Why? Because of the sunglasses. Sunglasses affect the eyes and the skin. And also, how they tell us not to be in the sun, that's the best prescription for osteoporosis. The less you're in the sun, the less bone you have. And you can lose all your bones for avoiding the sun. Therefore, you have to be in the sun either with no clothes. Of course, I'm not talking about nudity, but it's a bathing suit or something. Or with light clothes where you can absorb the sun easier. So the next principle is looking at the distance. Most of us don't do that, and I already talked about it today. Not looking at distance is detrimental to the eyes, and that's the main reason for cataract. If you don't have cataract, you're an exception if you're after the age of 65. And I want you to not need that cataract surgery, but if you already had it, then you need double to look at a distance. But look at a distance, if you don't have cataract, 20 minutes a day in intervals of 4 or 6 minutes. And if you have cataracts, 40 minutes a day in intervals of 8 minutes at a time. That will slow down the development of the cataract or prevent it from happening. Okay, and the next principle, as it's written in my book, is looking at details, because that's the one thing that people stop doing. People, when they're kids, are very curious about every detail. My son, because he suffered from autism, was very curious about all the details he could possibly see. But as you grow, you stop paying attention to details. You just pay attention to contents. So when you read a book, you read a whole paragraph. Guess what? You ignore those small letters, the small punctuations, and you don't look at them as much. So looking at details is a very important thing. And that's because the most important part of the visual system is a small area called macula, M-A-C-U-L-A. And macular degeneration is the leading cause of blindness these days. And the reason is our lifestyle, not being curious, not looking at details. And I remember once reversing it with one guy who was a pharmacist. And I asked him, what have you done most of your adult life? And he said, I read prescriptions and I look at medicine bottles. I said to him, look at the distance. And for 2 hours a day, he looked at beautiful distance in San Francisco, where we do have beautiful bay and beautiful views. And here we have the beautiful ocean on the other side of the city. And within 2 months, his vision improved from 2.5% to 95% normal vision. That was the best case I ever had of macular degeneration. But it degenerates because we don't look at details. We have to learn to look at details all we can. Next principle is learning to expand our periphery. That is a very important thing, to expand our periphery. And on that, we're going to work today. The next principle is balanced use of the eyes, because often one eye dominates too much the other eye. And that is like stepping on one leg all the time. All of you just stand up so you will not fall asleep. Stand up and stand on one leg and breathe deeply and slowly. And you can see that it is not, stand on the other leg, yeah? That's refreshing because you relax from one leg. But it is so much easier to stand on both, right? So the point is, if you overuse one eye and underuse another eye, you overload the eyes that you use and weaken the eyes that you don't use, okay? So here comes the next principle, and that is you look at the fact that many people don't use some parts of their eyes. So balance use within each eye is important. And the next principle is body and eye coordination. And I had this wonderful story of a person that was elective surgery. Be careful of elective surgeries of his heart, got a stroke of his optic nerve, lost 90% of his visual field. And it was the work I've done with him, especially on the trampoline, to jump and move from area to area. So his body was moving as he was looking at arrows. One arrow points up, so he bounced forwards. One arrow points back, so he land on his butt. And one arrow points to the side, and he clap his hand to the other side, he move his arms. He have done it many, many times, and he gained basically so much field of vision that he left me with 85% field of vision, and he looked at everything instead of looking in a narrow way when he came to me. So in spite of the destruction of his optic nerve, we were able to get him to see much better. Sometimes we change the structure, sometimes we work better within the same structure, and we make the parts which is left much more alive. And last but not least is more blood flow to the visual system. That's why when we massage here and massage in this area, we made a very big difference. So I want you to remember, until now, I was working on the body and on the eyes, but right now I want you to remember those 4 pieces of paper. So I'm taking a masking tape, and you could take Scotch tape, you can take a surgical tape, just not duct tape, please, and put this in the middle, and then I can put it between my eyes. So basically, you take this, we have 4 sizes as it was sent to all of you. And what you do is you take some here and some here, and we put it between the eyes like this, okay? And so we take this area, we move it this way, put it this way, and this way, like this. And then we take this area and put it this way. So we'll have those 4 papers horizontally. I want you to prepare them. And I hope that all of you have the page with large and small print that I've shown you before, large and small print. Or this size is from the other side of the page. So I'm going to give you a minute to do all this. While you're doing it, anybody has a question, I'll be glad to answer related to vision. And I'll give it 2 minutes so people have time to put the masking tapes. Go ahead.
Okay, if you have a question, please unmute yourself.
I have a
Hi,
question.
Go ahead.
I have a granddaughter who's now 1 year old, and she was born with one of the eyes, I think it's the red one, the right one, I don't know, that is slightly inward. So the 2 eyes are not exactly the same.
So
I've been
one of the
told that
best,
that's not an issue, but I am concerned.
so one of the best things that you can do for her, where's my small one? Yeah, is get her to put a small piece of paper between her eyes and wave hands and toys to the side, and that may help to put the eye back in place. And we can definitely meet over Zoom unless she's in the Bay Area, and we can work with her.
Okay, I'm on
And
the
by the
East
way, I
Coast.
want you all to know that I'm going to be on beginning of April, from April 2nd to 14th, in Quebec, Canada. So those from the East Coast, if you feel it's a quicker trip to Canada to work with me, you're welcome to do so for a couple of sessions. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
This is Karen. Do you have time for another question?
Yeah.
So I have one eye that's 20/40, the other one is 2600. And I keep working on my eyes and doing a lot of ear exercises along with others. And the 2600 eye just keeps getting worse. Even though I put a cover on the, the good eye to just really work that other eye.
Have you met me?
Not yet. I want to take one of your classes.
So what I'm saying is come to the class on April 27th and work with me 8 hours a day, and you'll see the difference. Because I'm seeing how tense you are when you talk to me. I work, and you have to really learn to relax and maybe some more skills of how to improve the one that sees 2600. Because if you strain, remember the first principle is not to strain. If you strain, then you get your eye worse.
Thank you, Meir.
I'm looking forward to see you. I'll take it personally if you don't come. All right, next. Okay, let's go to our practice. So the first thing I want you all to do is look at this page with large and small print. And I'm sure that everybody can read number 8 without any problem, right? Or am I kidding you?
Kidding you.
All right.
You're kidding us.
Anybody can read number 8?
Nope. Not me.
Okay, I'm talking about the rest. Is there anyone who can see number 8 and has it?
No.
Nobody raises their hand?
Sorry, no.
No, no one's raising their hand.
How many people do we have here?
164 currently.
We have 164 people and nobody can read number 8. How interesting. Okay, because in all my classes, there's several who can. I can't, the best I can read is number 6. But anyway, so take a look at the print as you read it and put it in as strong light as possible. I must say I'm doing very well here because I have sunlight that falls on the page right here, okay? So anyway, take a look at it. And first of all, no glasses, no contacts. Can we do that? By the way, do most of you have this page or no?
Yes.
Okay. So take a look. I'm sure, I just want you to know, number 3 and 4 is basically normal reading. Yeah. Number 5 is already small letters like in medicine bottles. Number 6 is what the bank writes to you, you know, and number 7 is what the lawyer of the other side tells you, you know, and wants you to sign on. This is, those are 3 and 4 is normal print, and 5 is already smaller than normal print. So take a look, see what size you can see. And it could be also the other side, right? Depends how your vision is. So look at the side that your eyes are very, very comfortable reading. And then look at the portion below it, and then the portion below that, and then one below that, and close your eyes and say, the ink is black, the page is white. All of you.
The ink is black, the page is white.
I didn't hear you, all of you. The ink, I don't hear you. The ink is black, the page is white. The ink is black, the page is white. The ink black, the page is white. Now take a look at that small area, take a look at the spaces between the words, and now look back at the letters that you look at originally and see if it looks a little bit different. Now we'll do the following exercises. We will first of all do peripheral exercises. So first of all, wave your hands to the side. Wave your hands to the side, close to the ears, farther from the ears, close one eye as you look straight, close the other as you look straight, and wave close to your ears as well. Okay, and here the next thing is where's the small one? Put the small piece of paper between your eyes and do the same thing. But right now, walk all over the space you have. Walk as you're waving your hands to the side. Okay, and then very quickly means that put the middle size a centimeter away or half an inch away and exchange between them. And now wave your hands to the side. You can do it sitting or standing. Wave it down, wave it to the side, all the way, yeah. Wonderful. And let's change it to the larger one, right? Not the extra large, but the large. So you wave your hands to the side, close and far. And then let's put the very big one. Wave and wave and wave. Rub your hands and palm. Put the hands around the eye orbits and breathe deeply and slowly. And now open your eyes and wave. And then let's put the large one and wave. And let's put the medium one and wave. And now let's put the small one and wave. Does the small one look smaller, by the way? Yes, no? I'm not hearing any results.
Yes.
Wonderful. So right now, let's take a look at the page once more. And you don't have to read much of it. Tell me, how does it look in the same light? Is it easier for the eyes to look at it?
No.
Yes.
Not for some, yes for others. Very good. Not every exercise is good for everybody. So I'm going to sit as I'm going to guide you through palming, but I would suggest you lie on the floor and palm as you do it. So interlace your fingers and move your arms in rotating motion in both directions. You can do it in two ways. They are together and you move them in rotating motion in both directions, and they are apart and you move them in rotating motion in both directions. Rub your hands and I'll take a palming stick if I have one here. Do I? Bring me one, please. Okay, we put the hands extremely, extremely gently around the eye orbits. We breathe deeply and slowly as we do that. And we want to darken the room all we can. In fact, here we have dark rooms, a dark room, which is especially made for palming. So, I'm surprised not to have a palming stick. You should have been moved out of my room, but it doesn't matter. So those of you who can lie against the wall, thank you very much. So that's a palming stick. What I can do is I can make it higher and lower, and that really helps me to palm pretty well. So put your hands around the eye orbits and visualize that you're seeing darkness and maybe blackness. Again, those people who are able to do, maybe you, Irina, will lie with your legs on the wall while palming with this one. So lie with the legs on the wall. And we breathe deeply and we breathe slowly. And we relax the eyes. And we can count 30 slow, deep breaths. You can count 6 when you inhale and 9 when you exhale. 30 really slow breath. Most people say that you can breathe 20 times per minute. And if you breathe slowly, it's 12. But you can go down to 6 times per minute, even 5. And the slower you breathe, the more good exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide you have in your lungs. The more blood comes to the eyes, the more they relax. The most important thing is to breathe slowly. You can also visualize you're seeing darkness and maybe even blackness. So breathe slowly and breathe very, very in a relaxed way. So breathe gently and slowly and feel that your abdomen gets filled when you inhale and emptied when you exhale. Feel that your ribs gets filled when you inhale and empty when you exhale. Feel that your chest and all those areas expand and shrink. And you can visualize that your head expands when you breathe in and shrinks when you breathe out. So your back your abdomen, your chest, your neck, your head. They all expand when you breathe in and shrink when you breathe out. And your legs, and especially those who have the legs against the wall, you can visualize they expand when you breathe in and shrink when you breathe out. And we can continue and palm with a little bit of music. We have Alexa in, I think, right? Alexa, play Bach.
Playing songs by Bach from Spotify.
Alexa, next. Alexa, louder. Alexa, louder. Alexa, louder. Alexa, louder. Slowly take your hands off. Alexa, stop. So was it relaxing to palm a little bit, huh? What I want to ask you is, do the eyes feel relaxed? Can we unmute ourselves?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's a pleasant feeling, isn't it? But if somebody wants to improve their vision, there's no way they can improve it without 30 minutes of palming a day in intervals of 6 to 10 each time, okay? So that's an important thing. Not everybody can palm for hours. For 1 second, take a look at the print. Even if it's not clearer, is it a bit easier to look at it, is my question. All right, I'm open for questions right now. And I want to remind you, on April 27th, we're having a class, which we call Mentor and Coach for Vision for Life. And the idea is, coach yourself with my help. And then if your process is very successful, while you coach yourself and see better, you will coach out, you can help others to read Vision for Life or practice on themselves and encourage them to work on themselves. We need a critical mass because we have the whole world against the whole concept that you can get any better. Go ahead. Anybody has a question?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yeah, I find it very hard to relax, and I've got very bad myopia. So I just wondered what are the best exercises to do.
Was it hard for you to palm and relax?
Well, yeah, I do find it. Yeah, I find it. I have
Okay,
been trying. I
So
have been
what?
trying to do palming, but I try to see black.
Oh, that's okay if you cannot see black. It comes with more relaxation. So do you do sunning?
With a lamp sometimes, because if there's not enough sun, then I try using a lamp.
No, don't use the lamp. There
Oh,
is
okay.
there is an exercise explained in my book, Vision for Life, which is called skying, where you put one hand behind your head. One hand on the forehead, and you blink at the sky rapidly. And then what you do is you do skying like this, and then you do the long swing, and again skying. So I'm against using the lamp because I'm all for using nature. The more we use nature, the more nature helps us. So I'm all for palming, skying in the winter when there is no sun, and then sunning when there is sun.
Okay.
What country are you in? What state are you in?
Oh, UK.
UK.
United Kingdom. Yeah.
United Kingdom. Yeah. So I would recommend that you would. There's a lot of. There are some days with sun. At least it comes for a few minutes. So use that, where you close your eyes and you move your head very gently from side to side and massage the eyebrows in the side. But then when there is no sun, you do the skying. And many Bates teachers suggest that you would use the lamp, but I suggest that you don't use the lamp. And I'm very happy to have you. Right now, it's not time to do sunning in the UK, I'm sure. But tomorrow morning will be time. And in terms of relaxation, body work makes a big difference. For example, one thing you can do is sweat, walk or run or bike or whatever you feel comfortable doing, and then do some eye exercises.
Okay.
Or for example, me, whenever I walk, I even brought today, I have a bag and I have these glasses and I take a look at things with these glasses. And sometimes I even throw and catch a ball. Normally it's a tennis ball, but also this ball could do while I'm walking. And that is very, very helpful. And it's very relaxing. And then sometimes I would stop. Let's see, do I have here red and green glasses? Have them somewhere. Yeah. And I stop and I look either with red and blue or red and green glasses at flowers. And with one eye, you see the petals much better. And with the other eye, you see the stems much better. So you can put it as a part of your physical activity. That's why I ask from people to not just sit, to lie down with the legs on the wall. So it's like, it has to be a body thing. So when you work on relaxing, you got to work on the connective tissue of your body, loosen it up. Maybe you should pound after lying on tennis balls. And if your body is more relaxed, then you can lie on tennis balls. So again, sweating, moving, combining eye exercises and body exercise can make a big difference.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yes, Mayor, I have a question.
All right.
I had cataract surgery. And now I can't wear my glasses because my cataract surgery improved my my vision so much better that now I can't wear my old glasses.
Well, you have glasses inside your eyes.
Okay, yes, I do. And my question is, I do computer work.
Mhm.
And should I get a pair of glasses so that I'm not straining my eyes to do the computer work?
So here's my question. How did they do the surgery? Did they do both eyes from distance or both eyes from near, or one eye from near and one eye from far?
I only had one eye done. He said that my other cataract wasn't as bad and my eye was still doing pretty well.
Do you see the computer well without glasses?
No, not really.
Okay. So first of all, don't strain. But I suggest
So that's what I'm doing. I'm straining, right?
that is not acceptable. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you need glasses, wear them, but try the trick of, first of all, looking at the distance for 20 minutes a day, like waving your hands to the side and sometimes obstructing, perhaps the eye that had the cataract surgery, the strong eye, and allowing the weaker eye to look from distance. And then, am I correct that the eye that they did the surgery sees better from distance?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure.
Yeah. So you obstruct it, you let the other eye look at a distance. And if from near, when you look at the computer, does the other eye, the right eye, see better the computer?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I'm not.
So if one eye sees better the computer, then you cover the eye that sees better. Okay, in this case, yeah, the right eye. You wave your hand to the side and you look at the computer for a minute with the weaker eye, and then you try to use both eyes. So the point is this: yes, have glasses to see the computer better, but try other things like looking at a distance, waking up the weaker eye, and see if that makes it easier for you to see the computer. And if it's not sufficient, then use glasses because you don't want to strain your eyes.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Looks like Joyce has a question.
Joyce, we are ready for you. Hi.
You have to unmute yourself, Joyce.
Can you hear me?
Right now, yes.
Thank you. I want to ask you, when we do the eye exercises, I have a nearsightedness. So I'm wearing contact lens. Can I wearing contact lens and do the exercises?
You could, but can you have disposable lenses?
With the frame, right?
Disposable is the best. So you can take them off, put them on. Also, for myopia, definitely contact lenses are better than glasses. You see better with them. But when you do eye exercises, for a period, it'd be nice if you wear glasses, you can take them on and off.
Okay, good. And one more question is that when I say distance, you said we look far away, look distance, but I couldn't see clearly, like it's kind of blur. So what
That's
I'm
perfectly
looking at,
fine. Look at your blur. That's your vision.
okay, just look distance, right?
Just look distance. I'm not saying see distance. I'm saying look distance. You know,
Look
so
difference.
you look at your blur. See, you're not going to improve to the extent that you don't need your glasses up front. Just like somebody who walks with crutches and does some leg exercises, they're not going to throw away the crutches immediately, but they may feel more ease. The way we do it is like this. You wear glasses and you do eye exercises, and then all of a sudden you learn that the glasses become too strong for you. So then we go an extra mile. We go to an optometrist and we reduce the prescription to 80% of what considered to be normal. And then again, you put glasses in the pocket, but we expect basically people within 3 months to see normally with the glasses which are 80% normal. Then we reduce them again, and so on. Also, there are pinhole glasses. I don't know where we have the pinholes here, but we have pinholes somewhere. And the pinhole glasses have holes in them, and they affect the pupils. So, Rina, maybe you can bring me pinholes so I can show them. Yeah. Get Elliot to help you. Okay. So you close the door, please. So you see the pinhole glasses could also replace glasses from time to time. They don't get you to see as well as with glasses. So the effort should not be to not have glasses. The work should be to have healthier eyes and see better. And with time, the need for glasses gets reduced.
So we can prepare like 2 or 3 sets different power glasses.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't want to all of a sudden strain. Strain is against what I'm talking about. But you want to be comfortable with the vision that you have. It's your normal vision, right? And the problem is, no, you don't see as well as you could see otherwise. These are pinholes. Those are glasses that have holes in them, basically. And with them, we can see much better. And you see, if you have those pinholes, that you will see better with them, basically. But they're somewhere in between glasses and no glasses. But that is if you really are diligent. So again, there's 2 ways to be diligent about seeing better. One of them is that you work well on yourself and follow my book, Vision for Life, and follow we have a very nice classes online that you can follow. But the other way to see better is come to my class from April 27th to May 1st and work with me 8 hours a day. You'll end up seeing better and encourage other people to do the same.
I would like to join, but I couldn't travel at the moment. So you mentioned you have an online class also?
We have online classes that you can download. Yes, it's not that expensive, $350 for 5 classes. One of them is 5 hours. Most of them are an hour and a half, and you can work with them diligently and see better, definitely.
It's a video, right?
Those
we
are
can
videos.
find out.
Yeah,
Okay.
videos. Work with them 20 minutes to half an hour at a time. And repeat them until you know what you're doing and work well. Okay.
Okay, I will check on the internet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And how long we need to practice per day based on your experience? Like
My
half an hour, 1
look,
hour?
it depends how you look at it. You can practice very little and you can practice very much. So for example, right now as I'm looking at you, I turn the lights off so I can see you a bit clearer. I blink. That's already practice. I look at your details. That's already practice. I look at the nice details in your room. That's practice. So you, in a way, are becoming conscious of your vision throughout the whole day. And then put in an hour or 2 throughout the day to improve it. And then once a week, you give yourself like a 4 or 5 hour workshop, of working on yourself diligently. And that's where you can improve quite a bit. What country are you from?
I'm from China.
China. Very good. And by the way, I will give a Zoom in China, and it's going to translate to Chinese on May. And you can be in touch with Sunny, who is bringing my work to China and has videos in Chinese of my work.
Oh, that's very good. If you can introduce. Thank you.
Yes, so be in touch with my office. Get her details if you can. And be in touch with my office and we'll connect you to Sunny so you will be able to get the videos in Chinese. Okay.
Joyce, could
Okay,
you please
thank you.
put your email address in the chat, please, Joyce?
Okay, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, and Thea?
Hi, I'm from Brazil.
Como vai?
I'm from São Paulo in Brazil.
Okay.
My question is, I have cataracts, and the doctor wants to make the surgery to put the lens, and I'm thinking about it. I don't like the idea, but I'm not seeing very well from distance to drive. For example, I have problems, and the glasses doesn't help. So should I? The question is, should I have the surgery?
So what I recommend is that you will meet one of my practitioners. I need an eye chart. I think I have some here. What you need is to meet with one of my practitioners in Brazil, and we have a list of practitioners. We can send you.
I know. I have already scheduled the meeting with Ana Paula.
Wonderful. Ana Paula is a great practitioner. So what you do is you need to meet with her and be evaluated. Here's what I want to tell you. If you see, you can put me full screen right now. If you see this chart, if you see the third line from 3 meters or 10 feet, I'm against a surgery in general. If you see less than that, a surgery is a possibility. But if you meet with a good practitioner like Ana Paula, I would suggest you meet her twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, for a period of about 6 or 8 weeks. And if your vision gets better, then postpone the surgeries or don't have them. If your vision does not get better, then it's a thing to consider, definitely.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So you've done the right thing, meeting with Ana Paula. Okay.
Okay, we have
Thank you.
Sis Beckford.
Beckford, Sis Beckford.
Hey, Eric Saxon. Who are you asking?
Sis Beckford.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't come on camera. Zoom doesn't work with my camera doesn't work with my computer. I was just going to say that I also work with computers. I'm work 8 to 10 hours a day. I have strabismus. I did have astigmatism, but I've been practicing from your book, and the optician says that's clear, that's cured, or it's no longer exists. But I seem to have plateaued in terms of improvement, straightening my eyes and improving my vision. I did want to attend your training course, but because of the COVID vaccine, I can't come to America. So do you have a course that you do in the UK?
So I'm going to be in Paris, and I'm going to teach 2 courses in Paris at the end of October and beginning of November. And give us your email so we can be in touch with you, or write to office manager. Can you type office manager at self-healing.org? So don't simply write to our website because it can disappear. But if you write to office manager at self-healing.org, I can guarantee you an answer on that. She's very diligent, and you can get a response. So Paris is only 3 hours from London, basically. I'm thinking about renewing some of my connections with England and maybe returning to England. I'll find out. But for sure, I'm going to be in Paris, and you can come and take my workshop as well as take my workshop as well as get some individual sessions. We teach in Paris 2 kinds of workshops. One is how to improve your body and your eyes for the general public. And we teach people who already teach eye exercises with other methods, how to work with legally blind people, because that's really my specialty, working with people who have low vision and lost a lot of vision and help them to function better. Like the lady who said she has 2600, that's exactly my kind of thing. I'd love to improve that to 2040 or something, you know. So the point is, I work with this kind of problem. So we have 2 separate workshops. So you can come to the general workshop and see me individually.
Unfortunately, I'm in Jamaica in
okay.
October, November. So if you're teaching there, that'd be great. But I mean, I'm particularly interested in the coaching course because all of my grandchildren are myopic. I'm hypermyopic, but they
Wonderful. So, you know, it's possible that the vaccine restrictions are being reduced every month or so in the US. So let's see what happens.
I checked when I was attempted to book your course, but at the moment it hasn't been lifted. Otherwise I'd have booked already.
Oh,
So I've cleared my schedule for that week, but I can't get into America at the moment.
Oh, can you get to Canada and sneak the border through Canada, or can you get to Mexico and get from Mexico to here?
I don't know. I know at the time you had to.
I had one lady who had to isolate in Mexico, and they may have less restrictions for Mexico to the US.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
You had to be out of those countries for 14 days before you could enter America. So, and I can't take 2 weeks plus the course.
I got
off work.
I got that.
It'd be great if you could come to the UK or alternatively online.
Well, we already have courses online, so you can always download them and work with them.
Coaching
courses? Hands-on. What?
The coaching course, the one that you're putting on the 27th of April? Is that online?
I may one of these days do coaching online, but it's a whole different thing when you have body work and hands-on and, you know, with people than if you're thinking about other people who are at home. I would like to work with those that I see, answer their questions, deal with their concern. So then it's not the same as, you know, just like here, you and I are talking, and it's not the same as showing it to a stranger. But I will definitely one of these days do these courses online. But I really hope that sooner or later all those restrictions will go away and people can just travel freely.
Okay, well, happy if you pop into England. Let us know if you are coming this way.
But you say to in Jamaica, if I'll pop into England, it's going to be around October. So it's not going to make a difference, right? Yeah.
No,
yeah.
no.
So
End of October, early November, I'm in Jamaica.
Yeah, I understand. So let's see. I mean, let's be in touch. It sounds to me that you already have communicated with the office manager, right?
I did, because I wanted to know how, before I found out I couldn't come into the country, I was trying to find out which airport to fly into and
San Francisco Airport.
The most direct route to your.
We're 20 minutes from the airport.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
But until they let me into the country, because I had an allergic reaction to the vaccine, so I couldn't have any more.
Absolutely.
So I'm not.
But did you take a vaccine?
I took the first dose and I ended up in hospital. So I couldn't take any more.
But maybe that will satisfy them.
They say fully vaccinated, which means both doses. So I'll keep checking daily because, as I said, I've got the time booked off. But
right. Okay. We'll talk other time, but I'm very happy we're in communication. Okay.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Meir. Could I just quickly jump in and just ask you a few questions?
1 second. Michelle has been waiting very patiently.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Michelle, if you could go ahead and ask your question. The meeting may end in a minute or so.
Okay. Are you ending it in a minute?
No, it's scheduled to end a quarter after.
Okay.
Hello, Meir. Thank you for doing this. It's been a really eye-opening event. I took your class maybe 10 years ago. I lived in Washington, D.C. I'm nearsighted, and while I still wear glasses, my prescription is much lower than it was before I took your class. But the thing that has emerged in the last 9 months or so is floaters. According to the doctor, I actually have floaters in both eyes. The ones in my right eye don't affect my vision. I'm not even aware they're there, but the ones in my left eye bother me. And so
The
any
way,
exercise.
the way to work on floaters is to look at one of them at a time. So if in your left eye you have floaters that bother you, you patch one eye and you are looking at one out of the several floaters that you have. And if you cannot isolate it, you look at a part of the floaters that you have, and just at that. By looking at it, the fluid in the eye, the vitreous fluid, will hit the floater and destroy it. Of course, you look at it, and within a few seconds it disappears because it's floating. So then you look at the sky, and in a few seconds it comes back. You look at it again. So remember, you just want to hunt one floater at a time, or one group of them at a time. Give it 3 or 4 weeks, and those will disappear because they'll break into small pieces. And then look at other floaters, and then look at other floaters, and then look at other floaters, until within a year you'll get rid of them. One thing you should never do is what the doctors offer you, which is a laser treatment to destroy them. Don't do that, because it often leads to glaucoma attacks and many other problems.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Meir.
My pleasure. Okay, one more question?
Yeah, we could.
Is that me or?
Yeah. It's you.
Hi, Meir. Hi, Meir. I'm Dina. I've followed your work for many years. I used to do Bates method when I was 20. I'm very low vision. And then unfortunately I had PRK surgery in India when I was 21, and it went wrong. Started improving my vision. And then in 2014, I had a retinal detachment in my left eye. So I'm left with a macular hole. So things in my left eye look really small, and in my right eye it looks really big. Plus, on top of it, I've got muscular dystrophy. So I really wanted to work with you personally, ideally, if I could.
Come to
very
Paris.
hard.
Where are you from? England?
I'm from England, yeah.
So you wrote to us, didn't you?
I did, yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do a personal session with you. Is that possible?
I would like to do with you several personal sessions, not one.
Yes.
So come to
Thank you.
Paris and work with us when I'm there in October, unless you can fly to the US before that.
It's just difficult because of my disability. It's just hard because then I've got to rely on somebody bringing me and helping
So
me.
what about coming to Paris? Can you do that?
I can ask my brother. I mean, I've only had one vaccine as well. I don't know how the vaccine was. When are you in Paris?
I'm in Paris at the end of October, beginning of November.
I
Be
can
in
ask my
touch.
brother. Yeah.
I thought we wrote to you back. So
You did, yeah, you did.
so take a look at what we wrote, because you have our schedule there.
It's just with my disability, it's hard because I've got to rely on somebody staying with me and helping me constantly, and it's a bit difficult because I can't.
I had somebody with ALS who came all the way to Germany and worked,
Really?
and he felt it made a big difference for him. We had a triple session. So I would suggest you make the effort to get to Paris.
Yeah.
The train is very comfortable from Waterloo, and we can really work together.
Yeah, that'd be. I'll see if my brother's free. That sounds good. Then as long as the venue will be accessible and everything, and it's all disabled friendly, I'll be there. Then I'll speak to my brother.
Paris is disabled friendly, definitely.
Great stuff. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. I followed your
Thank
DVD
you.
and books.
So
and
I
everything,
like to thank all of you and remind
Thank
you that you could be in touch with us. Please write to officemanager@self-healing.org. Be in our mailing list, email list. You can definitely call me right now. So write my number, which is 011 for those from outside. 001 from those from outside the country, 415-665-9574. From this country, it's 1-415-665-9574. I'm so happy we had such an international group of audience. How many people were through the whole thing?
108, just over.
So we had a little bit over 180 people came to this. I'm so grateful to you. I like to see all of you in vaccinated or not in my April class. We could make a very big difference in the world. Even you just work on yourself. It's the 100 monkeys, you work on yourself, and that affects other people who work on themselves. Like they had a 100 monkey, which had in one island, they peeled bananas. And then in another island, not even seeing them, they also peel bananas. So something there is in the world consciousness. And that's what we want to raise, the world consciousness. And so even those who took my training courses in the past, that's going to be a special course. Coach and mentor for Vision for Life. Vision for Life is the name. I want you all to have good vision for all your life. See you soon.